All right, everyone. Welcome to Out and About. I'm here with the original Barstool Sports homosexual, John Feitelberg, who's been fighting gay allegations for years, Years. He said people said he was
still the gayest guy at this company.
Yeah, you were sucking people off at Hurricane O'Reilly's in Massachusetts. That was the big allegation for years.
Yeah, allegation.
So did it happen?
Not that I'm aware of, but I've been in the Hurricane O'Reilly's bathroom doing a lot of shit that I don't remember.
Well, that explains the schnoz, dear. That explains the schnoz. You go, now I was throat fucked, actually, believe it or not there. That's so funny. John is actually one of the guys who helped me get a job here at Man Mafia, for those of you who don't know. I was writing in blogs for months and months and months, and I might have told this story to people listening and watching before, and you had kind of put Dave onto it. And you're like, this guy's pretty good. Yeah. And then I got the email from Dave saying, what's your deal? And I was like, people are reading this? And then it was just a year of poverty living. And I was brought out of poverty, brought on full time.
I remember that first year you being in a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Because you were doing like Barstool Breakfast.
Oh my God.
And then you were blogging.
A lot.
Yeah,
I was writing. Well, the thing is, Barstool had no money at the time. Like we weren't like, we've like now had an influx of cash. But like the first investment into Barstool was, the 30 million bucks or whatever. And that was pretty much allocated.
Bro, that's hilarious to hear. Like that time of Barstool was a time we didn't have any money.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, people were grinding like at every single level. It was still trying to form partnerships with big brands. We were still fighting allegations of brand safety. Dave was in every day, popping in and out of his office, just looking at people. God forbid you show up after Dave in those days, because the elevator opened up directly into his office. Which was crazy.
There was one time where he sat there, him and Erica just sat there waiting for people to get off the elevator. That was the rigs. Check the fucking timestamps, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Coming out of the elevator. Is this better, Vin? Yeah. All right. Sorry, I was talking off of my mic. Yeah, that was a HQ2. You were never at HQ2, right?
Nope.
No.
Never.
You were an HQ3 guy. That would be the characters that we had there, the faces that have come and gone through that door.
I remember as a fan, that was like a big storyline. Like that was always a thing, that people just showing up and everyone turns and stares at them.
I shared a desk with Alex Cooper, Liz Gonzalez, Willie Colon, Large, Sophia Franklin,
lots of RIPs,
and Jared Carabas. And it was the size of like half of this room, and we all just kind of like looked at each other. Now Alex has gone on to make about 200 million. Jared's probably made 10, and I'm still here, so still clawing away at the cashing those checks. But yeah, no, that was a different time, but I've always hit it off with you, which is why I wanted you to come in today, especially as a fellow Massachusettser, masshole.
Masshole, yes.
Yeah, we wanted to rank for the Man Mafia and the ladies listening. We wanted to rank the best summer towns in Massachusetts. So that is the episode today. So if you're not from Massachusetts, what you've thought about visiting, this is going to be your behind-the-scenes travel guide, where to go in the summer in Massachusetts. And it's not going to be all touristy. We're going to have some curveballs in there. We're going to have some scare places. You grew up in Mass.
I grew up in Massachusetts. I'm very nervous for how this is gonna go, because my Massachusetts is very different than everyone's Massachusetts.
Yes.
I grew up in Massachusetts as a child, but then like my adolescence were pretty much spent in Rhode Island. So I like most of my like real memories and like what I think is fun and where I went to beach towns to have a good time and to have beers and stuff like that. Most of that, I would say 99% of it is in Rhode Island. So my idea of Massachusetts is kind of like a kid's idea of it.
But that's the best idea of Massachusetts to have, because you're looking at it through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
sometimes
like
you go back to
are I guess when I was in my 20s, I moved to Boston.
Yeah,
but I was on KFC Radio the other day where I never thought, and I still don't think of myself as someone who was like a vagabond, but from like 16 to 28, I was all over the Eastern Seaboard. I was down from Vermont to Florida and then with Blackout Tour, I was on the road all the time. Like I had summers in Newport, and then winter, fall, winter, spring were usually spent like, I don't know, whatever college I happened to be at that year. Or
you went to 10 colleges, you never graduated. You don't have you're a scumbag. You don't have a college degree. You're uneducated.
So I know I'm very uneducated. And so I think my list I don't think is going to be good, but it's a personal list of towns I really like.
That's all we want.
And
we trust your opinion here.
Like I'll be honest, before this, when you asked me, I was like, I don't even that's going to be hard. So I Googled like best towns in Massachusetts.
I do the same thing.
Just to kind of like refresh my memory. And I was scrolling through and I was like, I don't even know what these fucking places are.
Yeah.
There was some where like Litfield or Pitfield. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Ooh, you don't want to know where Pittsfield is.
Once you're on the other side, I know the when I was a kid, my parents used to always say like the 495 is like the weather barrier, like from Worcester on the
That's
other
where
side.
Franklin is. It's right on the 495 belt. Yeah.
I don't know anything west of 495.
So you're east.
Yeah.
Because then it gets into Hopkinton, Upton,
Nope.
Holliston.
Holliston,
of course,
no.
is the start of the marathon, of course. Peabody's North Shore. I don't know. Yeah, all those went to UMass Amherst, so it's kind of a blur going back and forth. But there's really no reason to be out there other than, I guess, Worcester is the next big city out there.
Yeah, where I've been, obviously. I've been to Worcester and Springfield, but I mean, I'm sure I played hockey out there too. Like, I'm sure I've had like trips when I was a kid. But
is that why you were all over the place growing up because you were playing hockey?
It was hockey, and then I went to like when I was like 15 or 16, I went to boarding school.
Where was your boarding school?
Rhode Island, and that's why like most of my like 16 to 25 was like spent in Rhode Island.
What was the boarding school?
Portsmouth Abbey.
Yeah. Oh boy, I remember in 8th grade, all the kids deciding like where they're gonna go to school, and I was like, brother, I'm going to Franklin High School, 218 Oak Street. I can throw a stone from my bedroom window.
The address?
Oh yeah.
Actually, I know my school was on Corey's Lane. It was. I want to say 315 Corey's Lane, but I don't know if that's true.
Did you look up the address of Portsmouth Avenue? Why did you decide to go to boarding school? You weren't like, there weren't behavioral issues. It was strictly, this kid might be a pro hockey player, so let's get him out there.
Oh God, no. No.
So you're a drug addict.
No, it wasn't anything.
Yeah.
Like my dad went to boarding school.
Oh, okay.
And I think he had like
Portsmouth Abbey.
Abbey.
Yeah.
I wasn't bad, but I wasn't good either. Like
Got
I
it.
was.
Well, oh, wait, there's the address. Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, right there. 285 Corey's Lane. I think.
Wow. All right. Close.
260? Well, I can't read that. 285. Okay.
God.
Yeah, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't good. Like I wasn't always getting in trouble or anything like that, but I wasn't.
Were you nervous to go away? I feel like I would just be terrified to go to like sleep away at school.
No, I was a day student as well. And then, so when my dad went to boarding school, he didn't like boarding. He didn't like being away from his family.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't want my kid doing that. So I was like, but I had a dorm. So like day students also had a dorm. So I had a room.
You get both?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was kind of like I was like the perfect blend of both, where like some nights I'd stay, some nights I'd go home. Like it was.
And how'd you get, you drove obviously?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes from Fall River.
Oh, so you're basically at home.
Yeah, Fall River's like the last town on like before. I think you might hit. There might be one other really small town, but like Fall River's like the last city before you get to Rhode Island. So and then it's like basically it goes Fall River, Tiverton, Portsmouth.
And they just got the train, the big train they've been working on for about 2 decades. They got to stop there, and it's not even running right. Everyone's mad about it.
Is it fucked up?
I guess
right?
they've had some issues with, I mean, it's the MTA, so they are going to have issues. But yeah, no, that's great. Well, this is a perfect segue into our list, top 10 summer places to visit in Massachusetts. These are lists that are personal to us. All right, guys, we're taking a quick break from our show with Feitelberg, but we're going to stay very towny, and we're going to talk about Gametime. They don't make it easy to buy concert tickets these days. You got to sign up for the pre-sale, get in the queue, and by the time you get through, the best seats are gone. That is where Gametime comes in. Going to a concert or a sporting event shouldn't be about anything other than the show itself. It shouldn't be about waiting in virtual line, and lucky for me, I always use Gametime, which is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Gametime makes getting tickets faster and easier, and the prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime, which is awesome. I was looking at tickets for, I think it was Rockets at Red Sox tonight at Fenway, dude. $28. $28 on Gametime for Fenway, Red Sox, Rockies. So what are you waiting for? I'm going to get those Red Sox tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code OUT_N_ABOUT for $20 off your first purchase. Again, out, the letter N, about, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create a code and redeem code OUT_N_ABOUT for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. What time is it? Game time. Do you want to start your first one or do you want me to start the first one? Because 10 for me, number 10 is pretty obscure.
You're going reverse. Okay.
I'm going to go reverse.
All
it's a
right.
place that I've only like been to a couple of times when I was younger, but when I was there, it was a really good time. And that place is Scituate, Massachusetts.
Scituate. Okay. I've been
Yep.
there. Been there once briefly.
Yep.
I dropped off Hank, or maybe I picked up Hank.
That's right. That's where Hank is from. The reason I'm saying Scituate is because most of the thing, I like to be near water in the summer,
Yes.
obviously. Scituate is South Shore. It's on the water. They have the Spit. The Spit is
This
like...
bit I've heard so much lore of. I've never been.
It's like a sandbar that I think appears at like low tide-ish, and people go out, they tie their boats up there, they drink, and you don't even have to have a boat to get out there if the tide is right. You can just walk out there. No lifeguards, small enough town that it's very local. It's not touristy. There's no big hotels. There's some good bars. It's quintessential towny Massachusetts. And it's people from Scituate love Scituate.
Yeah.
Which I love. You're going to get some thick accents. The accents are very important to me in Massachusetts. South Shore accent is a little bit more pronounced than a North Shore accent. It's a different... North Shore is a little more like Maine. It's like the ka rather than like the ka. Like they don't pronounce their R's as much.
I don't know if I have like enough grasp of the different accents, like of the accents within. Like I just think of like you drop an R, Massachusetts accent. Like where I'm from, South Coast, is like my town was so I don't even like my town was just Portuguese. Like part of it, it was just Portuguese. It was like I'm the only guy who's not Portuguese, and it was like obviously you had some people who dropped R's, but it was always like it had a Portuguese tone to it.
Yeah, I just love I love towny. For me, there's nothing better than just a Massachusetts towny. I love it. I don't like
Brady
nice
jersey
places.
over a sweatshirt.
Absolutely. So yeah, Scituate I love. Good place that's a little bit off the beaten path if you're looking for somewhere on the water to visit. That's my number 10. What do you got?
All right, I am going to go first. I'm going to play to my audience. P-Town, baby.
Oh, is that your number 10 or your number 1?
It's my number 10.
Wow. That's on my list. Shock.
I said, so I put together my list, and I talked to Pat a little beforehand, and like as I kind of gave you guys a rundown for, I don't really have a ton. So like, I'm excited to do that because it's going to like make me think of stuff. P-Town I've only been to once, and I loved it. It was incredible. It was like the most fun day. I was only there for a day, and it was the most fun day ever. We did a relay race.
Okay.
So it was I think what was it called? The Ragnar Relay, I believe. Ragnar Relay. Bro, this race started in Hull.
Oh, you mean like a road race?
Yeah. So the race started in Hull, Mass.
Yeah.
And then you run to P-Town.
Okay.
Which is the entire length of Cape Cod. And the team, we were running the race for my friend's dad. He passed away. He had frontal temporal aphasia, I believe, and is a form of dementia.
Is that what Bruce Willis has?
It's something very similar, yes. And we were running a relay race in my friend's dad's honor, and I really wanted to participate. But at the time, this is probably like 7 years ago, I was so fat and so out of shape. I was like, I can't possibly get ready for this race. So like, I was like, I want to participate though. Like, is there something I could do? And they were like, yeah, actually there are teams of 6, but we need like a follow along driver in the van.
Perfect.
And I was like, done. I'll drive the van. Like I can't run, but I'd love to drive the van. And then the day before, we all got together the night before to like sleep and hang out and shit. And one of the kids on the team didn't come, and he's like, I got gout. I can't run the race anymore.
I got gout.
And so the rest of the team was like, fight, you got to do it. And the next morning I had to wake up. I hadn't run. I hadn't even trained.
Right.
I hadn't run. I hadn't done anything. Next morning I had to wake up and run 17 miles. Broke my foot doing it.
What? Just stress fracture from like repeated.
Yeah. Just it wasn't like in a cast or anything like that, but they're like, yeah, your bone's fractured, and it was just from being fat as shit and running 17 miles. But at
that's
the end
just
of the day,
mental. That's just pure mental.
It's just I ran it in 3 clicks to be fair. So it was like I did like a 6 mile run, a 7 mile run, a 5 mile run, or whatever the math is.
That. Sorry, Dad.
But then it all, so we ran from Hull to P-Town. It took like a day or two, whatever it took.
Because from the beginning of the Bourne Bridge in Cape to the very end, I know this guy just did a video on the motorcycle, is like 68, 69 miles-ish.
Is that how far it is?
Yeah.
Jesus. But,
so if you have 6 people, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and we broke it up, and I think it was at least 1 overnight, maybe 2. But then when we got to P-Town, the race ended, and it was just like the most fun party I've ever had.
You're probably so deliriously happy it was over.
Yeah.
You're walking around with a broken foot, surrounded by a bunch of gay men. You were there for. They thought you were there for Bear Week.
Yeah, because I'm a big fat guy.
Sure.
But like, yeah, I was one of those things. It kind of felt like when I went to Amsterdam, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was beautiful too. I thought it was just known for this one thing. Like I thought Amsterdam was just for partying. I thought P-Town was just for gay guys. And like, well, and it kind of is, but like at the same time, it's still like fucking
gay
beautiful.
guys and portly men with broken feet off of a road race.
Dude, I was reading Kitchen Confidential,
Bourdain's book,
and I didn't realize he got his start in P-Town.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that was his first like restaurant he worked. But it was crazy to see. He was talking about how back then, even in P-Town, even in nice town, like he's like, we just cooked fried fish. That's
all it was.
He was like, we didn't have nice restaurants, and I was thinking like that was like in the 80s maybe, like even back,
he was there in like the late 70s.
Late 70s was it?
Yeah,
like we didn't even have nice food then.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've told you before. I thought sushi came out in like the late 2000s.
Yeah. Like,
I had never heard of sushi before. I was like, sushi? I didn't even know. I literally had never even heard the word until I moved to New York.
Thinking sushi was invented.
I was like, this is new. They're like, no, it's like 1,000 years old. I was like, okay, cool.
I completely understand that though. Like there could be any number of nations who, if their food was introduced in America tomorrow, I'd be like, well, this is new food.
Yeah, it's brand new. That's funny. You say Provincetown though is like, it's so just naturally beautiful, and like it's perfect for a gay guy because like single gay men go there because the way that gay guys set up their day in a gay vacation town. I'm gonna put you on game.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Put you on game.
This is how gay vacation destinations work, like a Provincetown or a Fire Island. This is so funny. I was actually talking about this with my brother. So the way it works is everything is centered around like cocktails. Tea, they call it. Afternoon tea. The reason they call it tea is because back in the day, you couldn't go out for drinks like with other guys, gay guys, because you'd be caught. So you say, I'm going to get tea. So you go out for like drinks with someone. I don't know. You go drink tea. So basically tea is around 4 or 5 p.m. It's before dinner drinks.
Is that where like spill the tea? Is that where all that comes from?
I'm not exactly sure on that.
Right?
It's got to. But basically, long story short, is everything is centered around pre-dinner drinks, which is called tea. Mm-hmm. So if I go to a place like Provincetown, I'll stay at the Brass Key. Very beautiful place. Very, very beautiful.
You had full Trump on that one.
You stay at a nice hotel. You wake up in the morning. You get breakfast. After breakfast, you go to the beach. After the beach, you go home. You shower. After you shower, you maybe eat lunch, probably not. You go to tea for drinks, which is like 4 to like 7. Everyone gets kind of bombed at drinks. 7 p.m., everyone leaves. They go home. They shower. They go to dinner. After dinner, you go home. Then you go out to the club. That's it. It's wake up, breakfast, beach, drinks, shower, dinner, drinks.
So guys,
everything is centered around afternoon drinks.
Gay guys live like rich white women.
100%. That's exactly what it is.
Like it sounds like the stereotype for a Hamptons woman, a Vineyard woman.
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing is, now that I'm a little bit older, I don't like to do after tea. I'm done. I'm toast. So like 7 or 8 p.m. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking going home. And these guys will go out, all hours of the night. But I was there like a month ago, and I decided to go out, and I was like sunburnt, dehydrated, like a little drunk. And it was 11:30 p.m. and I went to stand up, and I was like, I gotta go home. I cannot hang like I used to. So if you're ever in Provincetown, listening to this right now, and you want to go to tea, go to the Boat Slip Resort. There's a huge deck that everyone goes and hangs out on. Underneath the deck is called the Dick Dock, world famous Dick Dock. We did a what's that show with Donnie and Nick and KB? Rediscovering America.
Yes.
We went out there. That was very fun.
What is on the day talk is where you just get a blowjob?
Yeah. That's where you get blown, hand job, maybe a little canoodling.
Hand job. Underrated. Are gay guys throwing on hand jobs a lot?
Of course, dear.
Yeah?
Of course.
Yeah. Dude, a hand job's a fucking great time.
What's the best time?
A hand job is. I feel like when you're like in your 20s, maybe even like early 20s, you're kind of like, oh, a hand job, fuck hand job, that sucks. Like,
Yeah, no.
You're thinking about like when you were 16 and you were hoping you got a blowjob. Someone walks in the room right now. So I said someone. Yeah, it could be anybody. I don't care.
It's
Guy,
Gaz.
girl, whatever.
Gaz walks in the
You
room?
walk in, you're like, yo, you want a hand job? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Man Mafia loves hand jobs.
Yeah.
Man Mafia is
Do
weird.
they?
Oh, of course they do.
That's
Yeah,
a respectable
these dirty
group.
bitches love hand jobs. They love blow jobs. They'll do it all.
But but my question was, if you're gonna get a hand job by the dock, I don't know if I've gotten a standing hand job.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to climax when you're
A standing
standing.
HJ.
Vinny before like he's gonna say something. Then he goes, I manage. Yeah.
I can do it. I can come standing up.
Right.
I can lock these legs. Don't worry.
Sure.
I got plenty of sinks that'll confirm that for
There's
me.
a will. There's a will. There's a will. Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I come in a sink sometimes. Like it hasn't happened a lot, but it's happened.
I mean, if you're in a pinch,
Yeah, dude. You think I haven't fucking whacked off over a sink? Come on.
please. That's so funny. Yeah, because you don't want to get sandy cheeks. Yeah. That's the last thing you want.
Yeah, taking off your shirt and like laying down on that or something. Yeah.
And then sometimes if you're drunk at tea and you go home, you don't even shower before dinner. You just show up sweaty, drunk, and sunburnt, covered in sand. Number 9 for me is going to be Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Okay, dude. You know what?
The North Shore. We're going from south to north. Gloucester, Mass. You got it's a good jump off point. You know, you can go up to Maine if you want to. You can go to Rockport. They got good beaches, good fishing. Of course, The Perfect Storm was filmed there. And they got the Greasy Pole in the summer. What's more fun than the fucking Greasy Pole challenge? Were you at that video? Did you film the Greasy Pole?
I did not. I was not at that with Jenna Marbles.
Yes.
No, I was
You were
not.
Jenna
I think
Marbles.
I worked for Barstool New York at that time, or maybe I didn't work for Barstool at all.
Got it. Yeah. The Greasy Pole is they have a big pole out in the fucking bay.
Oh, no, I
and,
know it.
And
Oh,
people, for the people at
yes,
home,
I'm
and they
sorry.
literally, there's a flag on the end of it, and they climb up, and you have to run out and get the flag, and then you win. People are in their boats, they're drinking. It's very much quintessential like fishing Massachusetts, and it's gorgeous, and the food is delicious. They have great lobster rolls. Any kind of seafood is going to be cheap there, much more so than like the Cape or, Provincetown, where things are more expensive than Manhattan. So Gloucester is going to be my number 9.
I told you I left 8 lists on here and hoping you were going to spring a memory for me.
Yeah.
I am going to take Gloucester, Mass.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a perfect number 9. Right?
I've been to 2 weddings there. That's like my whole time in Gloucester. Both times, same type deal as what happened with P-Town, where I was like, oh, I thought of Gloucester as
Pills.
the perfect storm.
Yeah.
I thought of it as like fishing guys, and I was like, this is fucking beautiful. I actually, the last wedding I went to was like the reception happened. I'm sorry, the ceremony happened like looking at the Greasy Pole.
Oh,
which
really?
I for some reason I thought that was like attached to land. I didn't realize it was kind of just in the middle of the ocean a little bit.
Imagine they do it on land. You just break a leg. You fall off.
Well, no. I knew the pole hung over water.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I thought it was like at a pier or
Got
something
it,
like
got it,
that.
got
I didn't
it.
realize it was a standalone
That
thing
makes
in the
more
middle
sense.
out there. But a wedding I've been to in Gloucester is the only time I've ever had a negative Barstool interaction turn violent.
Violent?
I mean, didn't happen to me.
What happened?
It was after a wedding. This is probably like 7 years ago now. After party, went down to one of the bars right by the water. I don't remember names or anything like that. And there was just some guy in the bar who like really didn't like me. And like it literally, it's never happened ever before in my entire life, my entire career, and just wouldn't leave me alone.
What was he saying?
He was just like, I don't really remember. I was fucked up, but like it was like reaching over people.
Eesh.
Like we're kind of like, me and 10 people at a bar. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, fuck you, Feitelberg. Like that.
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
because
shit.
they can't tell the difference between internet and real life.
Yeah. And
Right.
I was like, I was ignoring it, and I was ignoring it, and I was ignoring it, and I ignored it the whole night. And then the night ends.
You took out your sidearm. I shot him right in the gut.
And because you know how it is, like when you see like, it's not even fans in the crowd. Like obviously he's not a fan of mine. He fucking
Right.
hates me. But like, I don't know. I still want to show respect to Barstool.
Of course.
Because they're still a fan of the company. And just because they don't like me, I don't want to do something that sets them off and they're like, fuck the whole company kind of
Right.
deal. So I just kind of like keep to myself and stayed quiet. And then we get into the parking lot and the guy's still yelling from across the parking
He
lot.
bombed.
I'm sure he's hammered. and my buddy just took off his jacket. And he goes, hold this, I'll be right back. And just fucking one punch the guy, knocked him out.
Oh my God.
And he's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And I was like, we shouldn't have done that. But that was fucking cool, dude.
That's the coolest thing you can do. Yeah. He's probably wanted for murder right now, your friend.
I've waited to tell this story. I've told it again. I've told it recently as well. But I was like, I think the statute of limitations is probably passed on that.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Was he an older guy, a younger guy? Do you remember?
My age. Oh, the other guy? I had no idea. No, the other guy.
It was a 94-year-old man. He is wanted for murder. You're definitely going to get subpoenaed after this. That's great. Yeah. The other nice thing about Gloucester is it's funny growing up in Massachusetts, you go to all these places, you don't appreciate how beautiful they are. Like we would bitch when my parents would bring us to the Cape, like, I don't want to wait in traffic, this and that. We go to Gloucester and we'd watch the boats like go in and out. That's a fun thing to do.
There's something about, and I'm sure, anyone from any beach town or beach state, like when I go back to Massachusetts a lot, I'm always like, God damn, I can't believe I saw this my whole life.
Right?
Like it is. Even like when I went to Ireland recently and I went to the Cliffs of Moher and they're very pretty, but I was like, I've seen like that wasn't why I went to Ireland. That was just a stop on the way. So it didn't like ruin the trip or anything. But I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be a lot better. Like, this is just, I've seen these cliffs. Like, I grew up with these cliffs. This is the cliff walk in Newport.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy to think about. Like, even it took me like probably until recently to like actually really appreciate it when I started going there on my own and like meeting friends, because you don't realize how shitty living in New York City is in terms of landscape. It's beautiful to see the skyline sometimes, but after you've been here, a decade and you want to get out and you want to see the ocean, it's like it takes your breath away.
Yeah, I do. I love New York. I love New York City. I love living here. I have so much fun here, and I think it's a great place. But when I go to Massachusetts or when I was in Vermont a lot this winter, and I was like, God damn, we just grew up around like these fucking mountains and these beaches, and like this is everything beautiful in the world is available in New England.
Yep. Yeah, we would go skiing all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And we're like, what time do we have to get up? And I'm like, what were you thinking?
Dude, I remember the first time I went skiing with my friend's family.
Yeah.
And they just didn't get up at like 5 a.m. and their dad didn't have them like stretching and getting ready for the ski day. Yeah. And they just kind of casually woke up and went skiing at like 10:30 or whatever. And I was like, this is even a possibility?
No, yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought we had to be there making first tracks.
It was dark.
Yeah.
And like if we were lucky, he would warm up the car before we got there. But sometimes we get in the purple Plymouth Voyager, 3 ungrateful little shitty kids, my dad, my mom who didn't even like skiing, and we'd go up to like Bretton Woods.
Yeah.
And the first 10 minutes of the ride, you could see your breath in the car. I didn't even know that was a possibility. That's so funny. I think ski dads are a lot like airport dads.
Yeah.
They have to be there early. You have to beat the crowd.
As well.
Hockey dads as well.
My dad used to make me get dressed in the backseat of the car. I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna we'd be like driving to a game down the Cape. Be like, get back there, get ready. I'm like, we're gonna be an hour early.
Going to Gallo Arena, dude. right over the bridge, dude, in between the Sagamore and the Bourne.
When I was playing at Gallo had the see-through benches, and I thought that was I don't know why they did that. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. My buddy Leo, I remember we were so drunk in high school at one of these games. He threw up in the stands. He's just like, he's like, I don't feel well. Shout out Leo, our class president. Known drunk and known homophobe, Leo McNeil. Leave all that in. Fuck you. I love, it's so funny. My nemesis, Leo. Okay. My next one, number 8, I'm going to go Falmouth, Mass.
Ah, great one.
Just get over the bridge on Cape Cod. You're like, I am here now. You go over Bourne, a little bit further out is Falmouth. You're close to Buzzards Bay. Go out on your buddy's boat, do a little black sea bass fishing. Water's warm, tons of stuff to do. And it's a good jump off point. But more than anything, it lets you know that you're finally on the Cape.
Yes.
And from Falmouth too, you can go to the Vineyard or to other places. So it's just the excitement of being there. And they also have great food. Like if you're from Massachusetts, you'll understand this. But if you're not and you want to visit and you want to go, I work for Cape Cod Tourism right now, and you actually be getting paid. And you want to go just to the Cape, but you don't want to go way the fuck out. Falmouth is a great spot.
So I love Falmouth. Shout out Mr. Grassy at the Falmouth Rink Skate Shop, the man. But I will have no Cape on my list.
None.
Yep, you can say you work for Cape Tourism. I do not work for Cape Tourism. I do not like. I don't dislike Cape Cod.
How? My computer's about to die. I gotta open this up.
That would be me being a little extreme for clips, but I never spent a lot of time on the Cape, so I don't have. Falmouth would be one of the places I spent the most time, but that's only because Woods Hole Ferry goes from there.
So what don't you like about Cape Cod? Saying you don't like Cape Cod in the summer, being from Massachusetts, is one of the craziest things I've heard.
I think ultimately it's just because like a rivalry forms where it's like Newport, the islands, or the Cape. I was a Newport kid, but I just didn't like. Again, I spent very, very little time as like a teenage partier into my 20s on the Cape, but
teenage partier. I guess because you're so close to Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's why I was always just in Newport. I was of one of those kind of kids where like growing up, it wasn't encouraged to drink by any stretch of the imagination, but like I was aware I could get away with it.
Yeah.
DUIs, I was aware I was not getting away with. Like, my parents were very much like, look, if you're gonna drink, you're gonna drink. You're gonna do your thing. If you get in a fucking car and get in a DUI, I'll fucking kill you.
Well, this was pre-Uber.
Yeah, and so I was just scared to go to the Cape, right? Because I was like, I have no other way to get home.
You were afraid of it. It wasn't like, hey, let me just not drink. It was, well, I can't go there because I'm gonna be drinking.
It would be like anytime people would be like, let's go to a bar here. I'd be like, dude, my parents will fucking kill me if I get in a car. Like, even if I'm not driving, if like that was basically the only rule I had, was like, do not ever be associated with DUI, which I ended up being associated with. They didn't kill me, but I was scared. I didn't get it. No one got it, but it was.
You were in the car?
I was in the car. Yeah.
I had buddies who got DUIs, not just like pulled over and you're close to the limit. I shouldn't be laughing about this. Like buddies who like have had to blow into their car to get it to start.
Really?
Like, yeah. But before there was Uber, it sounds bad. It was just who was the least drunk. That's who drove. And you would be at the bar and everyone would be drinking, slamming shots in their early 20s. Like, all right, we got to leave in a half hour. You have a water now. That water will then cancel out the 25 beers that you've had over the course of the day, and you'll be our driver.
Dude, I was just on the tail end of that. And again, like, because of boarding school, because of all that stuff, like, most of my weekends away partying in high school weren't like, you know, like I had friends in Fall River, so like I did high school parties like that. But like, you know, everyone goes to a basement and drives home, because we were all from different states and different countries. Right. You'd go somewhere for a weekend, like you'd go to someone's house. So like driving drunk was not something that happened a lot in my high school. But I know like.
Yeah, I can't say the same about Franklin High School. Not me, but it was. We used to drive. My buddy Lloyd had a old Buick Regal, and it was 3. Like, you know, in the old cars, the middle armrest would go up and down. You could sit 3 in the front. So my friend Lloyd would drive. I would be in the middle, in the front, and my buddy would be on the right, and there'd be no one in the back. We thought that was the funniest thing, driving home like that. It's a miracle I'm alive right now. Don't drink and drive, okay? Don't drink and drive. That's my warning to you.
What was I just gonna say? I remember a buddy telling me a story of he went to Providence College and he was at PC at one time.
He was a friar
and got pulled over in a car of like 5 people, and cop rolls down. Driver's obviously shit-faced, gets him out of the car. Cop leans his head in and goes, "Is there anyone else in the car who can drive?" The whole car goes, "No, we've all been drinking, sir." He goes, "I'm gonna ask that question again. It's the end of the shift. I don't feel like doing paperwork. Is there anyone in the car who can drive?" And they were all like, "Never mind, I'm fine, sir."
It's a great cop. Yeah. It's a good cop. It's a very good cop.
I've been in a road test before.
I have too.
Really?
What'd they have you do? Tell us the story.
Just like walk the line, stand on your foot, and like count to a fucking million. Like do the alphabet backward. I like yelled at the guy eventually because he was making me stand on one foot for like 2 minutes.
Were you drunk?
This is just an athletic competition. This is not if I'm drunk enough. It's insane.
Yeah.
No, but
you had a buzz.
Me and my buddy were skiing, and I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Thankfully, I would have been more nervous. But he afterwards was like, "Dude, I thought you were fucked." I was like, "Why? I only had 1 beer." He's like, "Dude, we had like 10 fireball shots on the mountain." Like,
you forgot about them?
So I forgot. I was fine though, so I beat it. But
that's crazy.
Speaking,
you're lucky. That'll fuck your life up.
Yeah.
Like, although big time insurance.
I was fine, but Yeah.
Yeah, they got to raise the limit. 0.08, come on.
Dude, when I mentioned I was in Ireland recently, I learned that the islands you got to blow 0.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that. Which like
what?
you got to blow 0
For where?
to drive in Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland.
Yeah,
Because everyone's drunk all the time?
If you have
No one's on the road ever.
I
No,
was
they just don't. They
very-
just give up cars. They turn it into Fire Island. There's no cars.
I think that's why I think everyone was getting too many DUIs, and now I'm like, after being in Ireland, I was very surprised by how much they promote non-alcoholic beer. Every advertisement I saw for beer was like Heineken 0, fucking Guinness 0, like everything was about non-alcoholic.
Ah, that's interesting.
Even like I was at a pub and watching a rugby match on the TV, and like on the pitch, you know, they have like the all those advertisements, all non-alcoholic. I was like, this is weird. This is not the country I expected.
Yeah,
here.
it's they're like serious. So they actually have a problem. They're serious.
Yeah. Like no, we're
Shout
all
out
alcoholics, dude. Like come on, you're a good time.
Yeah. Shout out Mocktails with Ray. She'll talk about that.
You were saying what the cop was making you run through when I was in high school. Despite the fact that I was always like, I am not going to get a DUI. I wasn't perfect, but I was pretty hard about that. And but for some reason, I still memorized the alphabet backwards, just in case.
I could never do it. ever.
ZYX, WV, UTS, RQP, ONM, LKJ, IHG, FED, CBA.
CBA. Good Lord.
That's crazy.
Now do it drunk. That's great. Okay, I gave my number 8 was Falmouth. I don't know if you gave another one. Do you want me to give my number 7?
No, I can do 8.
All right, what do you
Again,
got?
I'm gonna.
There's going to be crossover, so stick with us here.
I don't think there will be because now it's just like the 8 towns I spent the most time in my life.
All right, what do you got? Number 8.
8 Needham.
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 Gross. Next to frame. Disgusting. We don't. Do we even want to elaborate?
I don't. It was all spent in my buddy's house. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I honestly was going through cities like I spent a lot of time in, and there I don't have a ton of them.
I only spent time in Franklin. Which is why that's pretty much it. Needham, Mass. What's Needham? Needham is next to Framingham. Are there any real attractions in Needham? Nope.
Chris McCarthy's house.
Chris McCarthy's house, sure. Yeah. Emerald
His
Square
wife
Mall.
Sally. I'm sorry, his wife. His mom Sally. The best. You want to talk about accents?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Christopher. Dude, the smoking the cigarettes with the boss accent.
God.
Christopher, what are you doing with all the friends here? Christopher.
Did she let you guys drink if you gave her your keys?
We yes. I don't know if we ever actually had to turn in keys. I think we did, but I don't know. I don't know if she was going around with like a bowl. We weren't driving anywhere, but I don't think we were turning in the keys either.
There's something so magical about a cigarette mom from Massachusetts. There was always that one mom who was she liked to watch you get fucked up. It was weird. I remember smoking a bong with my friend's mom.
She has to this day I guess it's not meanest because it's not like openly mean, but the pettiest thing I've ever seen. Where Chris's mom and his dad were divorced, and one day we were like sitting on their porch, and his dad pulled up in his new car. And he was just coming to like say hi to Chris or whatever. And his mom's sitting on the stoop smoking a cigarette as his dad's walking up the walkway. She goes, "New car?" He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Was that a Camry?" He goes, "Nah, Corolla." She just goes, "Thought so."
I love it. I love this woman. What a fucking legend. Thought so. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought that wasn't the high model right there.
The weather is heating up, so stay cool with Stella Blue Cold Brew. It doesn't matter what town you're in on the Cape, we're drinking Stella Blue Cold Brew. Whether you love a dark, bold roast, indulgent flavors, or our newest variety, Miss Peaches, which is 100% Colombian, we've got a cold brew for everyone. It's better, it's fresher brew at home in just 3 easy steps. If you're a coffee drinker, you steep, you refrigerate, and you enjoy. That's really all it is. And the best part, every purchase helps homeless pets find their forever homes. Grab Miss Peaches or any of our other cold brew varieties now at Amazon or StellaBlueCoffee.com, where you can use promo code OUT&ABOUT for $20 off orders, $25 or more. Sip with purpose all summer long. Stella Blue. It is very funny looking back at the parents of your friends growing up and like how different parents were okay with different things. Some of my parents were very okay with us getting just fucked up at the house. It was bizarre.
Your parents were?
No, other parents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when parents would let their my friends throw giant parties at their house, I was like, dude, you're crazy.
Sometimes after a school event,
Crazy.
everyone can go over to this kid's house because his parents don't care.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
how do your parents
insane.
not care?
My parents again weren't they weren't strict, but it wasn't like, hey son, you want a beer kind of
Right.
deal. But for some reason, they let me have the graduation party.
Really?
So after graduation, we all came to my house and we just fucking had a keg and we partied. But that was the only party I ever had in high school. And I was like, why? I guess again with the whole difference, most of the people's houses were elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we were close enough to school that we could have the party. But it was a mess.
The girl across the street from me used to have ragers at her house all the time. They would always get broken up by the cops, and every time the cops would come, she would run away from her own house, and my mom would just be standing there. She'd go, "That Jordan," and they'd be looking for her. She'd hide in their tree house, or she'd hide some. She's like, "I wasn't there. I don't know why people were in my house."
It's like fleeing the scene. Your VIN's right there. What's the way?
Exactly. Needham, Mass. Okay, my next one, I'll kind of breeze through this one because there's not much there. Yarmouth, very similar to Falmouth. It's just a little farther out. The beaches are a little bit nicer. They got the Red Jacket Resort. They got tugboats. It's a little bit more like quintessential Cape Cod, a little bit more quaint. You're a little bit more out there in terms of not being away from the traffic. So I do like Yarmouth, Mass at number 7. Number 6 is going to be I'm going to pull a hamstring trying to explain that one.
7, Yarmouth and Dennis. What's their deal?
Dennis is closer. Yarmouth is one out.
But why are they a pair?
I don't know.
Because growing up when we would play them in hockey.
Yep.
And it was what do you, is it YD or DY? Because I think the hockey team was opposite. I think it was the YD Sharks or the DY Sharks.
I think it's Dennis first.
So it's Dennis Yarmouth. Yeah, I think it's Dennis Yarmouth, but I think they were called the YD Sharks. But maybe I'm misremembering.
YD sounds way better.
But yeah, but Yarmouth's very nice. I got a friend who lives in Dennis now.
Sure.
I enjoyed it. I still don't. I'm not doing the Cape. No,
Yeah.
you're not getting any fucking Cape out of me.
That's psychotic. I don't know what to tell you. Well, you're gonna like this one then.
Well, yeah, I get to go.
Oh, number 7. My bad. Yeah,
Boston.
yeah.
Boston. Now
That's your 7?
Can we have an honest conversation about Boston?
I'd love to.
I have not been much, so my opinion doesn't have a ton of weight. I feel like the whole city has moved to the seaport, and I hate that. I feel like everything that people do, if you're in Boston, you stay in a hotel in the seaport, or you go to a bar in the seaport, you go to a restaurant in the seaport. I fucking hate the seaport.
Seaport sucks.
Sucks.
Seaport,
so as far as if the city is mostly in Boston, in the seaport, as I understand it to be, then it's not as good as it used to be. Because when I remember I was there 2022, maybe something like that. 2023 even, it could have been March Madness. And on St. Patrick's Day, and I started at the Peru, and I was just walking down Boylston looking for a bar.
I started at the Peru.
Dude, I was just looking for a bar on Boylston, and I got all the way to Parish Cafe down by the Common. There just wasn't a bar, and I was like, "Where the fuck is the whole city?" When I was coming up in Boston, those were all the bars we hit. We'd go to Southie a little bit, but the bars that we went to, particularly Gaz, it was the Boylston Street bars.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm I don't know where anything. Again, obviously, I'm not a citizen there anymore, so I shouldn't have too much information. But when I go, I'm just where is
Boston? Is
the Boston I remember?
Boston is great for the people. The actual city of Boston kind of sucks. There's it's. I guess 'cause I'm spoiled from New York. It's spread out. You can walk for a while without a restaurant or
Anything.
a bar. But to bring it back to the seaport, which is what you said, I don't like the seaport. We did shows at Laugh Boston, which is a great venue. But the seaport is so corporate. It's very they have the Omni Hotel, which is $500 a night. It was built up in the last 10 years.
It all feels like a pop-up city.
Exactly.
And when I'm there, I'm dude, the oldest city in the country is here. Why aren't we fucking using this? And why are we all in these brand new buildings playing fucking ping pong and drinking or doing
that. I don't want to
mini
do an
golf and
activity.
drinking?
I do not want to do an activity when I drink.
Some of the greatest
fucking
bars
hate that.
in the fucking country are 3 miles back that way. Why the fuck are we over here?
Give me a old touristy bar over a new corporate chain, whatever, any day of the week. Seaport for me it's too expensive. I don't want to go out and like try and go to somewhere fancy in Boston. Like bring me to Sullivan's Tap. Okay?
Yeah.
You bring me to Sissy K's. Bring me to Hurricanes.
Bring a Hurricanes. Bring a nice girthy one. Come
Yeah,
on.
why? You know the title of this episode is gonna be John Feitelberg comes out of the closet.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, dude, like last week I did Donnie and Chaps' podcast, Drop a Pin, and I just have a soundbite on that where they're like, and tell us about the Amsterdam trip. And I was like, Amsterdam, when I got fucked in the ass? And they're like, we'll clip it that. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about
It was with a stiletto, to be clear.
That's fine.
And a woman did it.
That's
And I
that's
didn't ask her to.
I mean, we can move on. If you want to
It
move
was
on.
not my request.
No. That's when old John was drinking. But yeah, I think the thing that's different about Boston and other cities is people in New York or Chicago, they have opinions about other neighborhoods within their city. But within Boston, people are super opinionated about different neighborhoods in the city. So people, if they don't like South Boston, everyone there is short. It's finance bros. It sucks. It's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. If people don't like the Seaport, it's corporate. It's bullshit. I hate it. No one has a lukewarm opinion living in Boston about any other neighborhood. I don't mind any of it.
I'm glad. I didn't know like how popular. I didn't know if that was going to get like a lot of pushback. Like the Seaport's great. I don't know. I get depressed in the Seaport.
It's too. Everything's too far apart. I don't want to walk 5 blocks to go to a fucking bar.
Yeah.
Give me a bar and then give me another bar right next to it. So I can go to this bar and that bar. I'm not walking an
when
avenue.
This bar kicks me out, I can just go to the next one.
I gotta walk through a fucking yard with AstroTurf and swings to go get a beer. Fuck out of here.
And I feel like the Seaport is doing something that like, I don't know. I feel like new cities do, where it's like they're just getting all the stuff other cities have. So it's like, come to the Seaport. We got a Shake Shack. I'm like, I don't fucking give. I want.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's not
what's
important to
something
me.
unique you have that like appeals. To
give me a mean bartender.
Sense of adventure, you know?
Exactly. Give me a mean bartender in a shitty dive bar.
And I guess there is the argument that we're just old, and like this is like that's what new kids like, young kids like, and if that's the case, God bless you. But that I have no interest in.
Well,
that.
people are drinking less now, so I think they need activities to do. Like when I would go out, it's like, oh no, the point of going out is to drink. I'm not. No. I'm not going out to play ping pong.
You want to go to this bar? They got a cool. Also, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
No, I don't need it. So I'll go to a bar.
Yeah.
But I don't need anything else you're about to say.
No. I won't be playing bocce. No.
Let's check out this axe throwing bar.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me what?
That is the craziest thing.
Oh,
Throwing
fucking
axes when you're drinking is insane.
I hate that.
You throw one axe and you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
I threw an axe.
That shit bounces off the wall sometimes.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
I don't want to have to earn a drink. You got to earn it, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I like earning it like skiing. I don't like
That's
earning
fun.
it like playing ping pong.
Which I think I'm giving up skiing completely. By the
Are
way,
you?
Yeah, I think I'm over it. I spent so much money last year
Dude,
skiing.
I had the exact opposite winter. I'm full ski bum this coming winter.
You're back? All right.
Oh, I'm back.
Cool. You're getting a house? I'll meet you up there. Yeah, that was good. That Boston. I could talk about Boston forever. Do you want to hear my number 6?
Yes, please.
Wrentham, Massachusetts.
Wrentham is crazy.
The sleepy town.
Yo, if you were giving me reactions for Needham and Boston, Wrentham is nuts.
Well, let me explain it to you, John. Wrentham. Great jump off point, of course, the King Philip Warriors. There was a battle there between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims, which we know. King Philip is the high school. They're a rival of the Franklin Panthers. And here's why I like Wrentham, because they have Lake Pearl. Beautiful, overpopulated Lake Pearl, where if you jump in the water and come out, you'll lose a toe because it's filled with gasoline. But we love Lake Pearl. We used to go there drinking going up. Next to it is Lake Archer, little known secret. You go on Lake Archer. You can bring the boat out. I think it might be a little bit stocked. But more importantly than that, Wrentham is a great jump off point to go to Foxborough, Patriots Place. Speaking of like corporate-y type seaport stuff, Patriots Place, they got a bunch of stuff there. You're also close to the Auto Mile, where you can find Herb Chambers, Ernie Bach Jr., get any car you need. You're also close to Franklin, Massachusetts. Franklin is obviously where I grew up. You have the Rome Pizza. I mean, you have Caesar's Haircut. If you want to go get a haircut at Caesar's, you have Acapulco's. You have Veterans Memorial Arena on Panther Way. And you have me. So Wrentham, very
You didn't even mention the
underrated
outlets.
town.
You can't be pitching Rentham and not be mentioning the outlets.
The premium Rentham outlets, of course. Yeah, how could I forget that? Rentham, Mass, underrated. I used to always want to go to Lake Pearl, and I had a friend whose dad had a house on Lake Pearl because her parents were divorced, and we used to get so fucked up at his house. It's a shock that no one died there. So yeah, Rentham, Mass, the number 6 best town in all of Massachusetts to visit.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a crazy.
Rentham
crazy.
is.
I was very
Rentham is the
hesitant to
size of
drop
it.
Needham in Boston, and you're dropping Rentham on us.
I would rather Rentham than Needham. Needham to me is just a highway.
Yeah, again, Needham. I think I'm under the impression. I think Needham's a very nice town.
There's
I've
like
only been to
4
one home in
highways
it,
through Needham.
but I think Needham's really nice, or maybe I'm thinking of Newton. I forget.
Newton is nice.
Newton's nice, but I think Needham is too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that's where Seb's is, right?
Who? Oh,
Saint
St.
Seb-
Sebastian's?
yeah.
It took me a minute. Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I think so. I think Needham's a nice town. Okay, I'm looking at my list right now, and I'm realizing that I have put Boston twice. So when I thought I had,
That's all right.
so I will switch, and I'll just go Oak Bluffs. I'll go Oak Bluffs. And
Great choice. This is at number 6 for you.
6. Actually, you know what? For the graphic, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna know, but I'll put Vineyard Haven. I'll put Vineyard Haven 6, and then I'll put Oak Bluffs 5.
All right. Those are 2 fair ones, both on Martha's Vineyard.
Both on Martha's Vineyard. I actually Vineyard Haven when I was coming up, I did one summer on the vineyard when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I think I was like 18 or whatever. Dude, when I was like 18, I like lived on the vineyard with like my girlfriend and a friend. And we just drank, and I was a landscaper. So
It's a dream.
I was up at like 7 a.m. every morning, coming home just getting shit faced from like 4 to 9, and then falling asleep again. I'm sorry, I wasn't up at 7. I was at work at 7.
When I eventually get fired from here, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
It was just me and like 6 Brazilian dudes. It was 17-year-old me, like 6 Brazilian guys, and it was great. It was
You probably
blast.
thought you were making money too. It's
Oh,
probably
I was-
$15 an hour, which at the time,
I bet I would get. I would bet it was $20 an hour.
really.
I bet I was making money.
I had a buddy who did fencing, and I thought he made maybe like $22 an hour. We were like, Ethan, you're gonna be a millionaire by the time the summer's out. Like you are. Do you understand? This is generational wealth in 2007.
But yes, Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven, Edgartown. If you want mini Nantucket,
Yep.
sure, go there. I don't care for it. I don't hate it, but it's not my scene. Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven are the shit. Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven rock. Vineyard Haven used to not have a liquor license. When I was like 17 living there, we never went to Vineyard Haven because they didn't have bars and you couldn't you can get drinks. They have a liquor license now, so you can drink in Vineyard Haven. And Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven to me are like the exact opposite of Nantucket. And
because they're blue collar.
yeah, it's not
You
even
got Nancy. You got Nancy's.
It's not even blue collar. It's just like it's not people who
Pretentious.
have this need to be seen. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you go to Nantucket or even Edgartown, like you just want to be seen so bad, and you want
Right.
people to know like I'm out here, I'm on the vineyard, I'm on Nantucket, and I hate that energy. And I think Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven have more like your weird aunt energy.
I think. Yes, I agree with you. I don't know if I necessarily agree
It's
with
like
the
those-
wanting to be seen in Nantucket. I think there's definitely an. I think
It's all
that
it's
has
like the
become,
Hamptons.
Yes,
The Hamptons,
Yeah.
Nantucket, and Edgartown are all the same to me.
it's because I don't think Edgartown is like that. I think Nantucket has become that recently. I think growing up it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
But now it's just everything is so expensive, and I don't want to see on Instagram like someone having like a dinner that's on the beach with like a long table set up and a
Yeah,
white
yeah,
tablecloth.
yeah.
It's very bougie. It's very wealthy. I haven't been there in years, but I like places where you can go out and you don't feel like you have to look a certain way
Yeah.
or dress a certain way. And I feel like if I'm in Nantucket, especially if you're going out to, a nice dinner or something, you have to really dress up and kind of play the part. And I think in Oak Bluffs, in Vineyard Haven, you don't have to play the part.
And I really enjoy dressing up. I like clothes and shit like that. But
She's a dress queen.
I don't like. Yeah, that's Lady Feitelberg. Like
Yeah.
I really like getting dressed, but I'm not with that environment. Like
Right.
I'd rather. I
It's
like
dick
getting dressed.
It's dick measuring. Yeah.
I like getting dressed, but I like hanging out in places where there are also people in t-shirts and jeans.
Right.
I don't like, if I looked around a bar in Nantucket, I'd be like, you're all fucking losers.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, and so am I, because I'm fucking here. God damn it.
Kraken. We talk about it every single week and we love it because if you're going to trade crypto, you need to do it right. That is no sketchy platforms and no sketchier customer support. That's why we only trust Kraken. Kraken lets you buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos without the lag, crashes, or clownery. And if you're buying crypto manually, don't. That's old school. Recurring buys lets you automate your investments so you stack sats without even thinking about it. DCA done right. Buy more when prices dip and less when they spike. And you can link your bank in minutes. So you set it, forget it, and just watch your portfolio grow. Oh, and there's Kraken Pay. So there's no more I'll Venmo you later excuses, which is a nightmare. So if you're, covering the lost bet, splitting a tab after a night out, spending funds for the next wild adventure, whatever it may be, Kraken helps you move money instantly with zero fees and no bank holds holding things up. That's huge. And if you refer your friends, Kraken is going to hook you up with $200 in USDG just for spreading the love. So stop waiting. Head to kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine through Payward Interactive Inc. Kraken. Check it out. Nantucket wasn't on my list either. I'm just going to go... what do we have? Okay, yeah, I did have those two on there. Yeah, but to bring it back to that, I do like Oak Bluffs, and I haven't really spent any time in Vineyard Haven. Oak Bluffs, the houses, what do they call them? The gingerbread houses?
Gingerbread houses,
That's
yes.
my least aesthetically favorite thing. My least favorite thing in the world aesthetically. I think they're hideous.
See,
it makes my skin crawl looking at those gingerbread houses. I hate it.
I agree with what you're saying in principle.
Yeah.
I would have no interest in staying in one. I think maybe I did once when I was a kid, but I don't like it. Feels a little weird, but when you zoom out and you look at it, I think it's kind of cool.
It's cool.
I don't like being, particularly because my parents used to have a house up by the the library in Oak Bluffs, and so we'd walk into town a lot, and I'd walk through the gingerbread thing, and when you're going at night, because the gingerbread houses have very strict rules. Like sound rules and light rules, because you're so fucking close to each other that I think it's 9 p.m. It might even be 10 p.m.
Oh, that's my dream. Shut it
lights
down.
off. But so when we'd be going to bars, we'd walk through at 10:30, and the whole town, the whole little gingerbread community would be shut down. And there's a big church in the middle of it, a big open air church. And that was crazy creepy walking through that, because it'd be silent, it'd be dark, and there's there are pews and an altar, and you're this is fucking bizarre.
It's very strange.
I don't like the idea of it, and I don't want to be part of it, but visually I'm okay with it.
I like, my favorite thing in Oak Bluffs is, I'm not going to break the internet here with a hot take, is obviously Nancy's. It's the four-story bar that they have there. So they also do boat rentals there. So we would go and we'd rent a boat, we'd go out for the day, then we'd come back and you drink your mudslides at Nancy's. And the best part about that bar for me is it's on the water, which I love. I love a bar on the water. It's the people watching. People watching in Oak Bluffs, if you people watch in Edgartown on Martha's Vineyard, everyone's going to look relatively the same. Yeah. It's going to be very pastel, very waspy. Cannot stand a wasp. Wasp is my least favorite aesthetic of person. I hate waspiness. But if you go to Oak Bluffs, you're going to get all different kinds of people. Yeah. You're going to get different shades. You're going to get, people from all over the country coming to Oak Bluffs because
my dad almost hit Beyonce in the face with a bike on Oak Bluffs.
I saw Spike Lee on a bike last time I was there.
Spike Lee's always driving around. He's got a car out there.
Is it orange? He had an orange bike like the Knicks.
Oh, he's got an orange. He also has a white car, but pinstriped with a big Yankees thing on the logo on the hood.
Really? God, that's obnoxious. I fucking can't stand him. No, Oak Bluffs, though. I think you guys should check that out. I'll just skip ahead. That was my number 3 was Martha's Vineyard, and it was between Edgartown and Oak Bluffs, specifically that long skinny road where the Jaws Bridge is.
State Road.
Yeah. That's my favorite road on
State
Martha's
Road's
Vineyard.
Fucking awesome.
Because either side you have the pond and then you have the Atlantic Ocean and there's the Jaws Bridge. I love that. It's so pretty to me. I'm going to do a little motorcycle vlog there, so keep an eye out for that.
Dude, those are awesome, by the way. I really like those.
Appreciate that. We got another one coming out. I actually went the length of the Cape from Bourne to Provincetown.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a great ride. It was hot as fuck, but that'll be out, I think, on we'll have already been out by the time this comes out.
Oh, nice.
So check that out.
I look forward to watching that.
Okay, my number 5 was Boston. We already talked about Boston. My number 4 was Chatham, Mass.
Chatham, I actually have been to recently. So I know I've said I didn't spend time on the Cape. The last 2 Memorial Days, I was on the Cape because I have a friend who lives in Dennis now. And I did like it. It was nice.
Waspy, but it's like a different kind of waspy.
It's the feeling I have with the Cape, as having not been a Cape person my whole life and now doing 2 years, it just it's a little too family for me. Yes. Everything's a little too like,
and you hate family,
cutesy and like
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like it's just everything about it just feels too family oriented, and that's just I don't like being around that because that's not the life I live.
That's could be further from my life. That's what Edgartown is to me. It's like I don't want to see if I'm like going out of a bar and I'm kind of drunk. I don't want to see a fucking kid with an ice cream. Get out of here! Fuck out of my face! Walking on those skinny ass uneven sidewalks with the historical bricks. I'm over that. I don't like the family. I don't like families.
Yeah, like
if you have a family, I don't like you.
You're driving around. It's like it's mini golf as far as I can see. Again, I'm not against it. It doesn't disgust me, but it doesn't appeal to me either. It's not. It's
well,
not
we'll die alone. We'll have no families. Yeah, I completely get that. Vineyard was my 2. I think you have. Do you have 4 in there? You were after Boston. We're kind of jumping around a little bit now, but we will put a graphic up of each of our top 10s.
Okay, so I've given 4, I think.
Yeah, I think your last one was Boston.
No, because then I did Vineyard.
Okay, yep.
So I've given P-Town, Gloucester, Needham, Boston, Vineyard Haven, Oak Bluffs. So I've given 6.
You've given 6.
So I got 4 more.
And I've given 1, 2. I've given Situate, Gloucester, Falmouth, Yarmouth,
I actually have
Wrentham.
perfect. I got perfectly 4.
Okay, what do you got?
All right, 4. I'll go New Bedford. New Bedford, people might think it's kind of a joke because New Bedford's not a great town. I've spent a lot more time in New Bedford in the last 5 years or so. It's coming around. Like the New Bedford waterfront.
Sure it is,
bro.
Sure it is. It has been for 40 years.
Yeah, it's like Providence. Providence has been like the up and coming metropolis in America since I was a child.
It's just Fentheads.
But New Bedford, I can only speak for the waterfront. The New Bedford waterfront, they've done some great work. There's some great restaurants. There's some great bars. There's a vineyard, ferry to the vineyard. I really enjoy the New Bedford waterfront.
That's fair. Do another one because I'm ahead of you right now. Wrentham was 5, Wrentham was 6, Boston was 5, Chatham was 4. So give me another one.
Okay.
And Vineyard was 3, so give me 2 more.
Then in that case, I'll go 3 is Newburyport. Which I have 2 friends who live in West Newburyport or North Newburyport, whatever, right there. And
is that on the North Shore?
I think so.
Is it by Beverly and Everett?
I don't know that.
Yeah,
but it is. The town itself is fucking amazing. I've only been once. we went to dinner downtown, and I was like almost like kind of like P-Town, where I was like, oh, I didn't realize this is fucking beautiful. I never
Massachusetts is great.
I'd honestly never even heard of Newburyport, and it was my friend, her husband now. He's born and raised there, so they live there, and I went to dinner with him one night, and I was like, wait, this town's it's still the only time. I've only been once. It was maybe 2 winters ago, and I was obsessed with it. I think it's amazing.
Newburyport.
I went there as a kid. I had mentioned that I did a little Googling. Newburyport was on many lists, so I think I'm accurate in my one-day vibe I got from it.
Sometimes that's all you need in a town.
Yeah.
It's probably all you need in Provincetown. It gets a little weird after you do more than one day. I was going to go 2 days over when I was doing my motorcycle trip. I did one. Hotel was $700 for a night.
Really?
I was like, you know what? 1 day's enough. I think I don't need to bankrupt myself. I'm just getting bombed in Provincetown. Okay, my number 2 is going to be Wellfleet, Massachusetts.
Wellfleet. Is that down by Falmouth?
That is way out on the Cape. It's to the west of Truro, to the south of Provincetown. Ladies, if you're looking at a map, Cape Cod is like an elbow like this. Provincetown is here. We're right here. Most famous part about Wellfleet is the beachcomber, dude. It's genuinely one of the most beautiful things on Cape Cod is when you come down that road and you're kind of going through like the fucking pines or whatever it is, and it opens up and you can see the beach, and the beachcomber bar is at the top of Cahoon Hollow Beach. It's like a humongous cliff to get down to the beach, and the view is just completely unobstructed. It's fucking gorgeous. Highly, highly recommend Wellfleet. I also like it because it's the thing I like about certain parts of the Cape the most is I like it when it's desolate. Like that's why I put Falmouth lower on the list, because I don't like when things are too crowded.
Yes.
If I'm on vacation, I like to be a little bit off the beaten path. In Wellfleet, there's like 6 houses and there's one bar. There's only a couple roads, but it's the most, for me, other than Provincetown, it's the most naturally beautiful part of the Cape. Last time I was there, last summer, we were all on the beach, and that's where they spot all the great whites when you go out to the tip, because that's where all the seals are. It's like
that
Chatham.
must be why I hear it. 'Cause I've heard Wellfleet. By the way, while we're talking Wellfleet, one of the worst named towns. Well, terrible name.
It's tough.
I don't know why my body rejects when I hear it.
Really?
It just doesn't sound like a town.
That's what the
It
gingerbread
sounds like
houses
a
do
bank,
for me.
like Wellfleet.
Yeah.
You know,
You're thinking Fleet Bank.
I know that's probably
Yeah.
where it's coming from, but like I hear Fleet and I'm just thinking bank.
I have a visceral. That's me with it. I get like nauseous about the gingerbread houses. I'm like, oh, it's so fucking gross
The
looking.
Fleet Santa.
Last time I was there on the beach, they have, because there's so many great whites, they have seaplanes going above looking for sharks. And if there's a shark, they radio down to the lifeguard stand, and the lifeguard stand will tell one to get out of the water. It happened twice while I was there. And people are running out, shark, shark. And you run out. It was,
Dude, I
beautiful.
read the
It's
other
great.
day that before Jaws came out, like we as a people weren't really that scared of sharks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
50th year anniversary of Jaws, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
they want to take my dad's like obviously a huge Jaws fan. He's a older white guy.
Oh, my dad's the
also-
biggest.
They all love Jaws.
He also really loves Bruce Springsteen.
1975, I think Jaws came out, right?
Was it that far?
Yeah, and
But-
I remember my mom was saying no one went to the beach that summer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think it like changed who we are as humans.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna take my dad to a 50th anniversary screening on the Vineyard. They're doing it.
how cool.
The last week of August they're doing it, which is weird because it came out in June. But the last week of August, and I think it's happening on the Vineyard, but I think it's happening nationwide. They're doing 50th anniversary screenings. And I've never been to one of those. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. I did. My little nephew is 4, and we were showing him. He was just being fucking loud. So I was like, let me just brain rot him on TikTok to calm him down. So I type in shark, and all the shark videos on TikTok have the Jaws music. And he was like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's a movie Jaws. Like, you know what Jaws is? He goes, shark. I was like, yeah, it's a shark.
Dun-dun.
But they're like rediscovering all that stuff. And when I'm on the Vineyard, even to this day, I still I have to go to the Jaws Bridge.
Yeah.
Like we'll get a boat, we'll
jump
go
off it?
under it. Of course.
Yeah.
We'll
People,
go
I
under
can't
it.
believe people get scared to jump off it. It's like
It's
4
5
foot
feet.
jump.
Yeah. That was one of the best movie scenes ever when the fin goes and it slowly goes down.
Yeah.
And I think
And then
people
they,
still
then they
get
have
scared.
the Severance camera work where like the pulley.
Oh yeah.
Like when the kid's in the chair. I'm sorry, not when the kid, when the sheriff's in the chair, and like the camera. You know. Remember when they switch in Severance? Have you seen it?
Parts of it.
So like when they're in the fucking elevator and it kind of just does that weird camera.
Yeah.
That's what they did with that shot where it's like they have the camera on a pulley and they pull it back, but they zoom in while it happens.
Oh, I know what you're talking
and
about.
It, like,
yeah.
fucks with
You're
the.
right, 'cause it looks like
It's-
but they don't really zoom out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I
a
know
very
that.
cool shot.
It's crazy that they made that movie was. It took them like a long time to make that movie because it was all weather dependent.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a couple summers it took.
I don't know how long. I know
I
they
made that up. Could have been a day. I have no
They,
idea.
they suppose it was. I think their biggest issue with it was the mechanical shark.
Yes.
Like the shark was supposed to be a pretty prominent character in that movie, and as is all according to my understanding, and they couldn't get the mechanical shark to work right, so then they had to really shift the script into being like keep the shark out of the movie.
Yeah, there we go. So it's budgeted for 55 days, took 159. So they extended the shoot. Yeah, I love it. I'll be on the Vineyard for the 4th. I will have been on the Vineyard for the 4th, and I always force everyone to get a boat, and then like we go drive under the Jaws Bridge. Bombed. Yeah, I'll be careful. It's a rental. Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, including out and about. And it also covers 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands that are just getting started. Shopify is the driving force behind them. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And that's the hardest part, right? You're intimidated by making your website. Shopify is going to help you do that, and they're going to help you customize it so you can accelerate your content creation. It's also packed with a ton of AI tools, which sounds intimidating, but I promise promise you it's not, that are going to write the product descriptions for you. They're going to give you page headlines and even enhance your product photography. And the best yet, Shopify is your e-commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. It is a one-stop shop. Take the plunge, try Shopify. You're not going to regret it. Turn your big business ideas into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period today at shopify.com/out-and-about. Go to shopify.com/out-and-about, shopify.com/out-and-about. Okay, I think we're coming down to the end of our list here. Wellfleet was my number 2. Did you give your number 2 yet?
I did not.
What do you got?
I got to rep Fall River, baby.
That's it?
I mean, this guy, as far as if we're being honest, and we're doing like Massachusetts beach towns, you probably don't need to check out Fall River. But if I'm giving an honest ranking, like my towns I did not have in order. I would have Oak Bluffs and Edgartown. I'm sorry, Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven above Fall River. But I just love Fall River. I don't spend much time there anymore, but it is
where you grew up.
Where I was raised. So I'd be doing it a disservice if I didn't have it on the list.
See, I didn't even put my hometown. I put Rentham. That was weird. I should have put. I said it's a good jump off point to Franklin. All right, that's fair. My number 1 obviously is Provincetown. It's got to be it. It's the perfect blend of like commercial stuff. There's a ton of bars, a ton of shops, and natural beauty. There's beaches. There's everything you can do, and there's a ton of gay people, which is how you know it's going to be nice. Am I right? You go to a town and it's filled with gays, buddy. You're going to be comfortable. You're going to have a lot to eat, and you better open your pocketbook because it's going to be expensive. So P-Town is my number 1. Let me run down this list. We'll get a graphic of this too. From 10 to 1: Scituate, Gloucester, Falmouth, Yarmouth, Rentham/Franklin, Boston, Chatham, The Vineyard, Wellfleet, and Provincetown. There you have it.
My number 1.
Your number 1.
Number 1 with a bullet. A lot of these towns I've kind of been like, I don't know. I've been there.
Fall River was 2. I thought Fall River was 1.
No, Fall River was 2.
Oh, my bad.
My number 1, Westport, Massachusetts. That I am very firm on. It is hands down the best. But I genuinely am kind of like, I don't even know if I should say it
because it's still hidden. It's like farm. It's like farmland. It's literally like farmland, and then beautiful houses, and then the ocean.
It's got all the best beaches. It's got look. If you're listening to this and you're 24, I would not recommend Westport. But for what my taste these days is, like, it's got, I don't know, we'll call it 3-4 bars, something like that.
Yeah.
The Westport Social Club, Westporter, Back Eddy.
That's a name for a bar.
There's probably, I'm sure there's some I'm not thinking of right now, but like it's just a handful, like 10 Cousins Pizza. It's fucking perfect. It is just like, it's chill for what you, again, if you're looking for a party, go to Newport. If you're looking to just have a nice summer weekend, Westport, Mass is the best fucking city or town in the world. I love it so much.
And what's your address?
it's like Baker's Beach. That's a private beach, but Horseneck Beach is the big one.
Oh, I used to go to Horseneck growing up.
Horseneck's in Westport. It's unfucking believable. So the one time I was going to a Pats game, and it was like in October or something like that. So I was just in a sweatshirt, and I had a Westport sweatshirt on. And some guy yelled from across the parking lot. He's like, "Feitelberg, I didn't know you were from Westport." And I said, I grew up in Fall River, but my parents live in Westport now. Just a sweatshirt I grabbed. And he goes, "Just do me one favor. Don't tell anybody about it." And I have kept that promise until today.
There it is.
It is the best. It's fucking unbelievable. Anywhere but Westport does not deserve to be one.
Westport, Massachusetts, Provincetown, Massachusetts, and everything in between. That is your out and about travel guide for the summer. So if you go to one of those places, think of me. That's really all I had. I was going to say tag me, but I don't even care. Just think of me. Think of Feitelberg. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. A lot to do in the Northeast, if you're in the Northeast. We should do one of these with Jersey one of these days.
Jersey, all I got is Asbury Park, but Asbury Park.
Ew.
Dude.
Yeah.
What?
Get him, Vinny. Get him.
I did a summer. Me and PFT did a summer in Asbury Park. I
remember. I remember that house.
Really?
Loved it, dude. I had so much fun.
The house is gorgeous.
I had too much fun, to be honest. But
I mean, it's not fun, but there's so many better places than Asbury Park.
I've been to Manayunk or whatever once, and I had fun there. I was like 19 at the time or 21 at the time. But Asbury Park, me and PFT did like 2 years ago, and I thought it was amazing.
That's crazy.
He rented the house from these two queens. Nicest house on the block.
Yeah, Pat came. He's like, "Oh, you're in the neighborhood."
Yeah, we went to the what's that, like the pier or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like bars and stuff on the pier.
It was so much fun, dude. It's unbelievable.
And I remember PFT was so afraid of umbrellas being like dislodged from the sand and impaling him. Yeah. And one just happened. So
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, that just happened to someone. I was like, why are you so nervous about an umbrella? What a way to go.
Yeah.
Not bad. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Engage with us on social, and we will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.